Right. So that year was 9 months, really, was filled mostly with classroom work and homework. But we did, of course, have these nice social periods with our neighbors.
Well, let me just add another question before we move away from the people that you were living with and the way they behave. You know, you do this Peace Corps thing, and now it's almost like everywhere you go, you're defined as an international couple. I mean, it really, I mean, everything you seem to touch from here on out has this flavor of international, which you didn't have any of before you left on this. I mean, how did you think about it? How did you feel about it? Had you redefined yourselves? I mean, you're living a different life than probably you thought you would live.
Yes, very much so. It was a broadening experience, I guess one would say. And we were fortunate to be able to maintain that international flavor after the 3 years in Bolivia. So we had another year of it at the International House. It didn't stop there, but it certainly diminished. We'll get into what came later, and we had a little bit of international stuff going on, but not very much. There was a period in our life then, particularly from the mid-70s on, for another 15 years or so, where there was little or no international professional experience. We traveled internationally, and our experiences certainly in South America made it easier for us to do that, helped stimulate us. We knew pretty much what to expect, and we had learned to be culturally tolerant. That is, we didn't necessarily question things that were new, we just tried to explore them. Right?
The next place we lived was southeastern Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And southeastern Kentucky was like living in another country.
A developing country.
It was quite different, and had we not had our international experience, I'm not sure we would have tolerated it as well as we did.
That's a good point. The international experience did continue a little longer in that sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very definitely so. But in Boston, then, we did a little exploring in Boston, did the usual touristy things. We occasionally on weekends would take the car and head north along the coast. It was just beautiful. And
well, I have one more question back in this little past thing here that we were on before we get into some of the things you did at that. Tell me about what America looked like to you when you came back. A lot of times how you feel about a place is one thing when you live in it all the time. But then when you go somewhere else and you come back, you start noticing things that you didn't notice. So what did America look like to you when you came home?
Well, it was coming home, of course, to a place that we knew reasonably well. I think for me, what I appreciated was the order at that time, the predictability, the moral compass of the professionals. All our experiences here were with people that, for the most part, we admired, and we were proud of the U.S. Vietnam War was an issue, and we weren't so proud of that. And I wouldn't say we were staunchly anti-war at that point, but we had certainly gained another perspective from people overseas who thought we should not be there in Vietnam. But otherwise, it was back into the orderliness of a hospital, at least undergirding all the chaos that's part of a hospital experience.
Hold on just a second here. We'll be right back.
Recording stopped.